What happens when you take 5 years of frustration, wrap it in a Latin-infused brass explosion, and serve it with a smile so sharp it could cut glass? You get a masterpiece that's been sitting in the reaction community's backlog for way too long. Today, on SpectraShowcase, I'm not just watching a music video, I'm unpacking a cultural statement that's been hiding in plain sight. And here's the thing, the people who needed to hear this message the most, they've been dancing to it completely clueless. Buckle up, because by the time we're done, you'll never hear those trumpets the same way again. All right, everybody, welcome back to SpectraShowcase. I know, it's been a minute. Life happens, schedules get crazy, but I am genuinely excited to be here today. And not just because of what we're about to watch. You see, when you're dealing with a group of multi-talented individuals, not just one artist, but a collective where everyone brings something different to the table, you can't just half-watch their content. You need perspective, you need context, you need to understand what you're actually looking at. Today we're reacting to SB19's Visa, and if you've been waiting for this one, I hear you. The comments have been flooded, the requests have been non-stop. But here's the thing, I didn't want to just throw this up as another reaction video. I wanted to do it right. So I spent the last week doing something I don't normally do. I went deep, I researched, I talked to people who actually understand the layers in this song. And what I found completely changed how I hear this track. Before we dive in though, and I have something important to announce at the end of this video, so definitely stick around. Let's get the formalities out of the way. If you're new to SpectraShowcase, hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell. We do reactions, deep dives, and we try to bring you context that actually matters. I'm gonna be honest with you. When Visa first dropped, I watched it once, liked the beat, moved on. Thought it was a fun summer track with some brass and a cool vibe. I didn't think twice. Then I started seeing the comments. Then I started seeing the discussions, and I realized I missed something. Actually, I missed a lot of things. So before we even hit play, I want to acknowledge something. SB19 is not your typical boy band. They own their own company. They built their own building. They write their own music. They produce their own tracks. Pablo, the leader, has his hands in every single aspect of their sound. And when you have that level of creative control, you can say things other artists can't. This song, it says a lot. All right, here we go. I'm watching this fresh, but I'm watching with everything I've learned this week. Let's see if it hits different. Wait, pause for 1 second. Did you catch that? They put a disclaimer at the beginning. Any resemblance to actual persons, institutions, organizations, or events. Now, normally disclaimers are just legal cover, but when an artist puts this front and center before the song even starts, they're telling you something. They're saying, pay attention. What you're about to see might feel like it's about specific people. That's your interpretation. We're just making art. But here's the thing. I've learned about artists who own their masters. When they say this isn't about anyone specific, it's absolutely about someone specific. They're just protecting themselves legally while saying exactly what they want to say. 3 distinct vocal experiences in under a minute. Most artists spend entire albums trying to find that kind of variety. And the production? That groove is infectious. It's got this Latin feel, the trumpets, the rhythm section, the whole thing. It's not what I expected at all for a song called. Even with all that work, even with all that success, they still need something, that metaphorical visa, to break through the final barriers. Most artists signed to major labels wouldn't dare release a song like this. They'd be afraid to bite the hand that feeds them. But SB19, they own the hand. They built the hand. They can say whatever they want. And what they're saying is, we've done everything you asked. We've worked harder than anyone. We've created art that connects with millions. Why isn't that enough? Why do we still need your permission? Dave Bautista, Bruno Mars, Olivia Rodrigo. Now, if you're hearing this for the first time, you might think, wait, is he calling them out? Is this some kind of diss track? What else? They're all Filipino or Filipino descent. They all found massive success in America. They all got through the gate. They all got their visa, metaphorically speaking, to global stardom. Pablo isn't attacking them. He's using them as examples, as hope. He's saying, look at them. They did it. They made it. They're representing us on the world stage. What if it could be us? What if it could be the other way around? It's wishing thinking, it's aspiration. It's saying, if they can get through, maybe someday we will too. That's completely different from how it reads on first listen. And that's the thing about SB19. They reward you for paying attention. The more you dig, the more you find. I want to take a step back here because there's another layer to this song that I didn't fully appreciate until I started talking to Filipino friends and really listening to what they were saying. For a lot of Filipinos, the visa represents something deeply personal. Here's the reality. The Filipino dream for so many families involves leaving, working abroad, sending money home, having a relative in another country, America, Australia, the Middle East, anywhere with a stronger economy. That's not just ambition, that's survival. The Philippines passport is one of the weakest in the world. I looked this up. It's ranked around 73. That means Filipinos need visas to go almost everywhere. It reflects the economy. It reflects how the world sees the country. It reflects a system that makes it harder for people from certain places to move freely. That's not easy to do. You know what strikes me most about SB19 as I've been preparing for this reaction? They're independent. Think about that for a second. How many boy bands have existed in the Philippines? How many groups have tried to make it big? Countless, and most of them never got anywhere close to where SB19 is now. And it's not because those groups weren't talented, it's because they didn't have control. They relied on companies that didn't believe in them the way they believed in themselves. They were products, not artists. They did what they were told, released what they were given, and hoped for the best. SB19 said, fine, we'll do it ourselves. They built their own label. They created their own content. They connected directly with fans. They made the music they wanted to make, said the things they wanted to say, and trusted that if they built something real, people would find it. And people did. Now they're paving the way for everyone who comes after them. Every young Filipino artist who dreams of making it without selling their soul, they look at SB19 and think, maybe I can do that too. That's the legacy. Not just the music, the path they're clearing. Alright, speaking of travel and getting from one country to another, I have news. Big news. For everyone watching SpectraShowcase, I've been hinting at this for weeks, and now it's time to make it official. Yes, finally, it's happening. Johnny and I are making the trip, and we have so much planned. Let me break it down for you. First up, March 14th, we're going to be at the 70s Bistro Bar with Yumi Kapil. Johnny is actually going to be performing with Yumi. They co-wrote a song together, and he's accompanying her live. If you're in town, come hang out. Link in the description. I want to meet you. I want to thank you in person for supporting SpectraShowcase. But that's not all. In Cebu, we're going to be at Honduro Pizza with Mission Souls. Free admission, free, but you need to call ahead and reserve a seat. Come have dinner with us. Let's actually connect. Let's talk music, talk life, talk whatever you want. And we're not done yet. We'll post updates on SpectraShowcase as we get closer, so if you're not subscribed, now's the time. Ring that bell. You don't want to miss where we end up. This trip means so much to me. The Filipino community has opened their arms to SpectraShowcase in a way I never expected. The support, the love, the comments, the shares, you all have made this channel what it is, and I can't wait to finally say thank you in person.